Hello everybody out there, Chris and Mike here, and welcome back to another Dark Avenger indie comic book review. A couple of days late, but of course all due to New York Comic Con, where we had a lot of fun, got to talk to a lot of really awesome people. Check it out, it's all up on Comic Frontline. We had a great time. Unfortunately though, the reviews are going to be a couple of days late, so today, which we're shooting this on Tuesday, but for you guys it'll be Wednesday. You guys will have the indie review, and then tomorrow, which will be Thursday morning, you guys will have the big two. The big two are returning to a one episode format. I will explain more on the next episode, which you guys will see tomorrow, on why it's going back to a one episode format. New York Comic Con was a lot of fun. Everything, like I said, you can see on Comic Frontline. We got to talk to a lot of awesome people. Got to meet a lot of awesome people. We got some books in this review that came straight out of New York Comic Con, and we will talk about those in a brief moment. So, the books that we are discussing in this episode were released on
October 1st, 2014, the first week of October, starting the trilogy holiday.
So, we have a lot of physicals. We got 13 digital. Let's start with some physical stuff.
Here's your book.
Give me the other one also?
Oh, sure.
Okay. This is before we actually review this book from Argo Comics. Honorable mention, because we already reviewed this story arc. But for those of you that were following our reviews of the Argo Anthology series, the mini-series, which was Havoc Patrol, was collected in one book. You can get just Havoc Patrol, all the stories that were from the Argo Anthology, all collected into one book at argocomics.com now. We got our copy at New York Comic Con. Dan signed it as well.
Yep.
Awesome book. Definitely going on the autograph wall. We have to redo the entire autograph wall because we got a lot of books this time. But
yeah.
For those of you that are interested in Havoc Patrol, if you like what you heard on our reviews on the Argo Anthology and you would like to just read about Havoc Patrol, which I would advise you read Argo Anthology. But if you're just interested in Havoc Patrol, it's all collected right here in this one shot.
And to check Argo Comics, argocomics.com.
Now, the new book. This came out a couple of weeks ago, I believe. Dan will correct me in the comments when it came out, but it is out now. And it's available to order on argocomics.com as well. And that is Law & Order Halloween Special.
It is the month of Halloween, after all.
And Dan also awesomely signed this book. So, Law & Order's Halloween Special. You have Law & Order chasing after a ghost. And I actually like that Dan actually made a reference that if you'd like to check out this ghost, he gave a reference in... Sorry, I went too far. The pages moved too fastly. It opens up with her going up against this ghost, and the ghost's name is... Why am I'm missing the page, I believe.
I mean, I have to admit, though, it is very classic of like Halloween stuff. Like, you could actually feel the spirit of Halloween while looking at those pages. Artwork's amazing.
The artwork is beautiful. Why can't I find it? Oh, here it is. Got it. Right here where she's chasing after, what's his name? Stingy Jack. It says right here, feel free to do this if you like as well. So you could do your research online on Stinky Jack. And I like how Dan kind of took the actual thing and threw it into the book. But it turns out he's afraid of pumpkins and devils. Another thing I really liked in this issue, and I'm sorry it took so long for me to find that, is the short jokes. We all know Law & Order is very short. So
yeah,
it was kind of funny how there were a lot of jokes about Halloween, you know, because of her height, she's always thought, you know, they always think that she's a kid. And she hates this time of the year just specifically because of that. So I like that. I like the artwork. The artwork in this book was spectacular. And anyway, she finally finds out that his weakness is pumpkins and the devil. But no devil, so she uses pumpkins. And she tricks these trick-or-treaters into believing she's a kid from their school. And she says it's a game, and she gives them these pumpkins, and they go chasing after the ghost. It was really, really good. I'm not going to give you guys the ending away or anything. The pinup section is really awesome as well. You're going to recognize some really awesome artists doing some Law & Order. And there's a little teaser in the pinups for another one-shot. Not now, obviously, but
it'll
a short time from now.
Right here. So, Yeah, I was looking at this, and it was like really amazing. Like, it actually gives you the feeling of Halloween, like I said before, and just wow.
I loved it. It's a nice little ghost story, and you know what? For a one shot and a special, it's only $3.99. No upping the price, no nothing, and the cover's really great. And these are the kind of specials I like, where it's the same as all the other comics.
Plus,
cover price.
It's also good to show one of the sides of an Argo 5 superhero, like a solo.
Yeah, if you're reading Argo 5 right now, Law and Order in the recent issue gets herself into a little bit of trouble with one gladiatra. So I'm looking forward to the next issue of Argo 5, which comes out next month. But this was a nice little side story. I love Law and Order. I would like to see an ongoing of Law and Order, or a mini-series at least of Law and Order at some point.
And we also want to thank you, Dan, for signing the comic book. And meeting you at New York Comic Con was really awesome.
It was absolutely spectacular. We had a great time. You can check out our interview with Dan, as well as Dan's 2 videos from New York Comic Con again on
Indeed.
So let's continue forward now.
Image Comics, The Walking Dead, issue number 132. So in this comic book, from what we saw in the last issue, these new people that were coming in wanted to ask...
2 seconds. Okay, keep going.
Okay. That wanted to... like Kelly wanted to ask... I forgot what her name was, like the question about, you know, the campus and everything, like what's been going on. There are these 3 knights that were going to fight the walkers, and one of them that hears the walkers, by the way, here's some artwork, which is really awesome. And it's them doing their formation, and he still hears the walkers, and they actually now can use swords. For example, this right here. So now walkers can use swords. That's very interesting. Instead of them going like, oh, I'm going to eat you and stuff like that, now they can use weapons, and he could still hear voices and stuff that they were talking. And it's black and white as always, and that's not a problem at all. And that's really the whole book. It really took me like 5 minutes to read the whole thing, and I don't want to give away the end, because the end you gotta see for yourself, but...
Let's just say the zombies aren't exactly what they seem.
Walkers are not that stupid, as we all thought they would be. So...
They're not walkers, that's why.
Well, they're not, but they were looking like they were walkers, but... The people were like, well, oh yeah, this is your book.
Okay, now, normally I'd say this is my book of the month. It's the very beginning of the month, so it's kind of bad to say that. So I'm going to say this is my book of the month for last month. So this way, I know there's like a whole month, 4 weeks worth of books, but the potential book of the month goes to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, issue number 38. It's been over a month since we've actually had a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle issue. And I feel like it's been so long since we actually got into the actual story, because we were so focused on Turtles in Time. But anyway, this book has a lot of awesome cameos. We've got Aloplex that makes a cameo. We've got Shredder is not in this issue, so he's kind of on the down low. Krang is not in this issue. Old Hob is in this issue. It turns out his mutant army is he's expanding. He actually has 2 more recruits. I'm not going to give the ending away, but I will get to that. All right, so the issue is there's a conflict inside the family now, because again, Splinter as well as Leo believe that Shredder is the main what they have to focus on first. Donnie, again, believes that it's the Technodrome, because they're supposed to be saving the world, not focusing on vendettas or people that are threatening them, like Shredder, who's threatening basically just to destroy the Turtles.
Right.
Artwork is really good. Slash is actually in this issue. He actually shows up at the Turtles' lair, basically dropping the message off about Old Hob asking for their attendance. You know, basically calls for Splinter only, but of course they all go. But there's a huge fight that happens between Splinter and Donnie. Mikey kind of is... He's kind of on Donatello's side. Raphael's kind of more on Splinter's side. So it's a divide of the family. We get a little cameo with Nobody also. I will say that. I'm not going to really get too much into that, but there's a 3 pages of Nobody Aliplex makes a cameo. The fight is still in there, and you can see, like, finally the family is finally having their differences. You can see that they're fighting over where their focus should be first. And I like that, you know, there's more than one problem that the Turtles have to solve going on at the same time. Plus you got Old Hob, who could potentially be a problem at some point. And, I don't know, and we have April and Casey with their moment, which their moment was amazing as well. You got to read that for yourselves. So like I said, Old Hob created 2 more mutants to add to his army, which I really like these 2 characters. I forgot what they were called. Herman the Hermit Crab and Mondo Gecko. 2 characters. I believe these names we've heard before from the Turtles mythos. But anyway, the ending has Pete going out looking for more potential recruits. And those potential recruits...
Oh.
Yeah, remember, Pete's stupid. So, oh
wow.
boy. Uh-huh. The end of this issue could mean a lot of problems for the Turtles. I love this issue.
That is awesome. Wow, I couldn't believe I just saw that. It's been a long time since we've seen that. Alright, Archie Comics of Mega Man issue number 41, Legends of the Blue Bomber, number 104. This is a new story of Mega Man. They don't have Mega Man X in this one anymore.
Well, it's over, the story.
Well, yeah, it's over, yeah. So basically, it's Mega Man going up against Top Man, which is right here. And it actually reminds me of the old Mega Man games, and of course Dr. Wily, who still wants to destroy Mega Man, and of course in his mind he wants to, and Light thinks he's changed for the better. So there's lots of action. I really love the artwork in this comic book. Like, it was like really amazing. And he gets Top Man and defeats him. As a spoiler, I mean, Mega Man, we all know he would do that. So Dr. Wily actually came up with a getting the Gamma back online and one step closer to protecting the world, even though Roll thinks Dr. Wily's still up to no good. So Roll's smart to think that. So now we have Snake Man, who wants to destroy Mega Man once and for all, and they fight each other. And he wanted Rush to back off because of the chip that he holds, because the chip would destroy him. And I don't want to give too much away about the fight, but all I gotta say is it's just that amazing. But the hunt for the Robot Masters isn't over, because there's still more to go in that. So the next one looks like he's gonna go up for the big challenge.
Next issue is the Super Smash Brothers variant cover.
Yeah, and I'm actually gonna try to get that because they look really awesome, and I want to get the 3 that are together. So definitely something awesome to read, and also when that World Unite comes out next year, which I'm definitely looking forward to. And speaking of that, another Archie comic of Sonic Universe, issue number 68 of Total Eclipse, issue number 204. Eclipse and Shadow met each other on Angel Island, where they had the Master Emerald, and they have a huge fight with each other, and he tries to use the Chaos Control, and it's always when Eclipse is around it doesn't work. But we find out in the other issues. Meanwhile, Knuckles, Rouge, and Omega are on the hunt for Eclipse to find him, and they found out he's back on Angel Island. And the artwork's classically drawn, by the way. And Eclipse powers up. For those of you who read Eclipse, you'll find out how and why he powers up. And he just beats the snot out of Shadow. But he gets hold of the Master Emerald, where he does Chaos Control and Chaos Blast. And basically gets a 1-up on him and everything else. There's something about the scientists I want to say, but you definitely have to read the book to find out. So they want to take the Master Emerald to another island, and Knuckles doesn't like that very much, so, well, let's just say that happens. So basically the fight was about that Shadow wants to take the Master Emerald, but Knuckles wants it to be kept there to protect it, because he thinks that they want to steal it. Because over the years, if you played Sonic Adventure 2 Battle and other games, then you definitely know the reason why he thinks that way. But another great book, that I really enjoyed reading, Knuckles versus Shadow. And remember Knuckles versus Sonic? Now we get to see them against him against Shadow. So that is going to be very interesting to read.
Well, didn't you read that?
I did, but I want to give this to you.
Okay, well, we both did, so
Well,
we'll both cover
did,
it. 2014 Halloween special for Grimm Fairy Tales.
From Zenescope.
One thing I'm a little bit not happy with, and it doesn't take away from the book at all, the book was good, is the price point. I would like to say that a $5.99 price tag for a Halloween special is a bit much, and there's already advertisements for the Christmas special, which is going to be coming out in 2 months, I believe. Yeah, coming this December is the
December.
Christmas. But anyway, looking over that, it feels like, we talked about this last week on the live show, it feels like another issue of Grimm Fairy Tales, where it takes place in the school, and we just went through the Genie story arc, where the Genie was giving everybody what they wanted. This story is a flip. Mm-hmm. It's what everybody fears the most. And it turns out that Skylar kind of has a little bit more strength in her. She kind of breaks, she kind of snaps and loses it.
Yeah, because the Dark One, you know, and stuff like that, yeah.
And she forgets everything that happens, though. Everybody gets free at some point. I'm not giving you guys the fears. You're going to have to read this book on your own for that. But you can see that this event, the stuff that happened in here, has impacted every single one of the students in a different way, but it's affected them a lot.
A whole lot.
So, will this play into something in Grimm Fairy Tales? I don't know. But you can definitely see how affected all the characters are in this book. What did you think of it?
I thought it was really adventurous and...
Wow, what is it with you and adventurous? Do you have anything else?
It was exciting. Happy now?
Yes, I'm very happy.
Well, and I never say adventurous all the time.
Yeah, you do.
Exciting book to read. It's Halloween month, so definitely pick this up. And I enjoyed reading this, as well as seeing Sela in action in this book. And everything else about it, just check it out for yourselves. Okay, this one. That's your Halloween special. This is my Halloween special from Zenescope. Zombies versus cheerleaders. And this actually has 3 stories in there. And they were very short, the stories, actually. The whole thing. But basically, the first story is Tacoma Brewmasters, where these girls go to the army camp and you know, talk to them and stuff like that. So these 3 ladies, they like go around the camp to see what's going on and everything. And there are zombies that are there. And here's some artwork that I want to show you, that are invading the whole camp. And there's these guys who come along, and zombies are just attacking. So these 3 ladies, they have swords and guns and everything to take out the zombies, and let's just say they kicked a lot of zombiness in that. And there's still more, actually. Next story is Give Me a Z with cheerleaders. And the cheerleaders, they're just, it's like regular old cheerleaders, you know, just doing their thing, and of course what they do on the side. And then there's a zombie invading that place, and they want to do a match against the zombies, and whoever kills the most zombies gets something really special as a cheerleader and stuff like that. Then last story, The Misadventure of Becky and Bob, where Bob's actually dressed as a zombie, and everybody looks at him like saying like, wow, you look like a real zombie and all that. And to be really honest, he was actually a real zombie. And everyone thought it was just a costume, but guess not. So this was really a funny book. I mean, even though it's a Halloween special and it's supposed to be scary, it's actually, like, there were some parts that were, you know, in the scary parts, but this was like mostly funny as well. And I like how they add the funniness to the story of the Halloween stuff. So zombies and cheerleaders equals something else. And last book from Zenescope,
Masumi.
Masumi, thank you. Blades of Sin, issue 3 of 4. One more issue left until we complete the series of, well, the first series of Masumi. So, what was that? Masumi, and her sister, what was her name? Well, May. May wants to train just like her. She gives her an example about demons and what to do in situations like that, because her husband died in the last issue. I can't remember what his name was. Hiroto. And Rujin is out to attack them, basically to kill the whole Masumi family. So May goes off, and Masumi fights off against Rujin, and it was a really, really tight battle. The artwork's excellent. I was really amazed at that. And the Legion Sword is saying to kill him and stuff like that. And then there's lots of other stuff that happened, but I don't want to give that much away. But I couldn't believe the Legion Sword just telling her, like, just kill him and stuff like that. And she wants to be the one to control everything. Now listen to what Legion Sword has to say. And the ending, I'm leaving it up to you guys to check out, because I don't want to give it away. And I want them to read it and to see for themselves. But really great stuff. I'm enjoying this series, and can't wait to see how the ending is going to be. And that's all for physical copies. That's right. The digital.
And before we get into digital, honorable mention goes to Garfield issue 30, which is also the Halloween special for this year, and it's also cover price. It's issue 30, nothing extra, it's just a Halloween special, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the stories. The artwork does change for the second story, which it's okay. I don't mind it.
That's the one.
Because it's a Halloween one. It's not based off of Garfield, really. It's somebody who dresses up like him, but the ending is really nice. Lots of nice little, what do you call it? The comics from the
funny
Sunday
pages.
Classics.
Oh, Sunday Classics, yeah.
All in all, a really, really enjoyable book.
No, let's do those first.
Do these first?
Valiant, yeah. Valiant, I gotta...
Valiant, we have 2 weeks worth of Valiant books in one. Mm-hmm. We didn't have last week's books, so we have last week's books and this week's books all mixed into one. I think XO goes first, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
I don't think so. I think yeah, let's do XO.
Do not read before Armor Hunters issue 4. Let's see, do I have... Yes, okay, Armor Hunters issue 4 first.
Okay.
Armor Hunters issue 4,
the epic conclusion. Yes. And in this story, it's all about the war that's going on, and Arak has to make a decision. Arak. To make the decision to give the suit or the world will be destroyed. And he doesn't really know how to do this, so what he does is that he uses the suit to basically make everything right. Because he's the owner of the suit. Like he says, I own the suit, I make my choices, and that's it. And that's what I like about his attitude towards all this. And in later pages, he meets up with Ninjak and someone else, I forgot who it was. And Bloodshot, yeah, as well. And first of all, the artwork's really amazing. And,
I like the artwork.
Mm-hmm. And they're just trying to save everything and not make it that destructive. And Arak looked like he was in trouble at first, but thank God for Ninjak that came in to save him. But he was in very critical condition at the ending battle, even though he actually pulled through the battle. And he wound up going to the hospital. But see, here's the thing. The armor is supposed to heal him. Why didn't it heal him? Read the book to find out. Because I think they explain a little bit of why the armor didn't heal him. So his wife is there and sees him like this, and just leaves it off like that. Which actually takes place in the next comic, which will be this one right here.
XO Manowar.
No, it's this
you want to do the Aftermath first?
No, it's right after that. Aftermath. Well, when he gets it. Okay. Yeah.
Armor Hunters Aftermath, issue number 1.
Which takes place right after Armor Hunter, or the other... The comic I just reviewed. Mm-hmm. And it goes in a little bit of a different direction before they get into the ending page, where, there's lots of aftermaths that happen after the whole construction. And it was going in back in time, but it goes in the now present where this machine, I forgot what the name was, that's trying to say, you know I harm people, I'm really sorry about, and he explains it to Livewire, that was her name, about it, and she goes to the woman saying, you know, the robot's changed, and then the commissioner saying, you know, you're wrong because look at what the robot did, you know, but I don't know who's right at that because robots changing emotions, and I don't know about that. And then there's this whole big thing where there's this huge, gigantic monster that comes in. Bloodshot actually does appear in this issue to help out in this situation and everything. And lots of explosions.
And the Eternal Warrior makes an appearance.
Yeah, and the Eternal Warrior actually makes an appearance as well. And Arak is fine in this issue, since we saw what happened in the last issue. And he just goes there and says, you know, that he's done. Like, he doesn't want to do this whole thing anymore. He just said, after this, I'm done. And he gives it up after that. But after the whole thing, and he says, you know, we are unity. And that last page was an epic pose right there. So, I really enjoyed these two issues right here, but there is another Valiant, which is Exo Manowar, issue number 29,
which came out, I believe, this week.
Which is right here, and Exo Manowar. In this comic book, first of all, it was just dealing with the Exo Manowar was from the last page of the other issue.
Well, keep going.
Alright, well, anyway, the commissioner comes in and, you know, and it's almost the same thing what happened in Armor Hunters, the one I just reviewed before, about the whole thing about the suit and whatnot. And then there's an old friend that Arak knew about, and he says that he wants the suit because it would change him into something that he wants to be. But it can't heal him because he has to lessen his powers or something like that. Like, it's a little bit hard to explain. You'll have to read the book to find out what it is. I think he has to lower his power level or something. I really couldn't understand that part. But he couldn't get the suit for one reason. And it had to relate something to that. So, and you know, there's also other stuff that happens in the... where he gets mad at him because of the armor that he has, and he just, you know, wants the power. It's really all about having the power of the suit, because the suit solves every single answer to everybody's problem, and it's a huge, powerful, whatchamacallit, like a huge, powerful thing that's important as a role. Whoa, that's made me jump.
Yep.
And just to finish it off really quickly, there's something that happens in the end that relates to some business, and that will be
in the next issue of Exo.
In the next issue of Exo Manowar.
Not number 0.
Yeah.
Okay, and with that alarm, we will be right back with the rest of the books for this week's Indie Comic Review. Alright, and we're back, and we're now in Harbingers Omega, issue 2 of 3.
Yeah, first of all, this was kind of boring. First of all, there's long dialogue. Huge, huge long dialogue.
Oh boy, I see.
And
already.
yeah, and the second thing is that I was literally trying to understand this book. All I can get from the story is that there's this huge war that's happened. That's the Comic-Con. That's not
yeah,
the page. Yeah. There's just like this huge war that's going on, and everybody's in panic, and they're trying to fight their way through this. That one person, I forgot what his name was, that helps out. And then there's this whole thing where they're trying to find ways to end it, and that was really it. The rest of it is all talking, and to be honest, I was very, very bored by this. So... I only read it like halfway through. I mean, I did read it to the end, but then after the other half, I was like, no, it was kind of boring. So, up to you guys. You want to pick it up?
Alright, we're in Image Comics now. Protectors Inc. issue number 9.
Yes, Protectors Inc. And in this story, now the detective is asking a question of the guy you see on the cover. What's his name? Go up. Like, he asks him about the murder, if he was actually part of the whole explosion thing, because he said, like, I saw you and I know where you were and stuff like that. So he's like saying, that it wasn't me, like I wasn't with all that because I was doing something else. And that's really all about it. Then on the upper sky, Angel is talking with the crew, like saying, they said, you're with this detective and you should really watch out because, he can't be trusted. And she gets mad at one of the team members. And he actually asks Angel a question of how she really got her powers, because the guy who was talking to before was saying, you never asked her how she really got her powers. And she explains it, even though she really doesn't want to explain it. But she actually tells him the truth of how she got her powers and that whole big thing, and then she left. So after that, there was like one of the team members that Angel was talking to when they had that indifference stuff. And he was actually going to look for more evidence towards the murder because there's still that case that's happening. And after a while, that happened, and he didn't really find out much. And then there was like a whole big fight scene that happened, and lots of things are a bunch of twists and turns that you might want to read, because that's something I can't give away. I don't want to give it away because this is something that's going to lead into the series finale of the next issue.
Yeah, it's the last issue, the next issue.
And I'm not too happy about that, because I was actually enjoying.
Well, they could bring out as a volume 2. You never know.
They could. Oh, wrong picture.
Tech Jacket.
Yep.
Issue number 4. How is Tech Jacket going?
Come to think of it, Tech Jacket actually reminds me of Armor Hunters, where the suit is really important to the role. And this guy who goes over his house was saying, I will help your son. In exchange, you have to sign the rights of his Tech Jacket to him, because we all know what bad guys always want to do, take over the world and yada yada yada. So he's trying to convince them to sign it over to them, but if only that means to help their son. So there's like a whole big thing that happens where the house explodes because the son actually returned, and the parents were really worried about him. Oh no, I'm sorry. It wasn't the son that returned. My apologies. It was actually someone that's acquaintance to his son that actually comes to say that he needs help. I forgot. I thought it was him coming back because it looked like that. But no, my mistake. It was actually acquaintance to him. That took me actually 7 minutes to read that book, because it was
very quick.
Yeah, it was very obvious what the guy wanted to do with the Tech Jacket, and they're going to do, or hopefully not sign over to him, because we all know what happens when the bad guys get what they want.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. Apparently the other camera wanted to die, so I'll edit out the intro to this book and go into Blood Queen issue number 5, written by The Blood Queen, yes. And I've been really enjoying this series. It opens up with, oh man, why did that name just disappeared out of my head? Elizabeth. Apparently the crops from several fields have been destroyed. There's blame of a demon. There's a lot of blame for a lot of things. But then Elizabeth finds out about the head monk of the monastery being very sick. And this person is a friend of her, I forgot what her name was, the woman who's in disguise right now, who uses blood magic. So she goes to see the head monk, and we find out that a lot more has been going on behind the scenes. We find out who cursed the king's daughter and why. And it turns out, let's see if I can get to it. There we go. That the elder woman, spoiler alert, was behind it, Why, though, you're going to have to read the book to find out why. But it all really comes back to the identity of the Knight of Purity. And I'm not going to give away dialogue, but let's just say I'm really questioning this woman, the elder woman. She's definitely got an ulterior motive, and there's definitely something going on with her. There's also a scene with what's his name again? Farnick?
I don't know.
No, I'm saying there's a scene with Farnick, Knight.
Oh.
I don't know, but this is all shaping up. The pieces are slowly falling together. I don't want to give this issue away because this is definitely a key issue to what's been going on in the book. I would definitely recommend reading it. I loved it. The artwork was really, really good as well. So I would definitely recommend checking out Blood Queen. And next episode, this past Wednesday, the Blood Queen annual came out. So you could definitely look that up. Next issue is an issue #1 from Dynamite. I really enjoyed it. I'm wondering how you felt about it. Sherlock Holmes versus Houdini.
Harry Houdini.
And the issue opens up actually with Harry Houdini performing a
magic trick.
A trick in a prison, not in a prison, in a oh, where was it?
It was in a prison, wasn't it?
Was it a prison or no? In Scotland Yard.
Well, it looked like a prison.
And somebody behind the bars basically takes apart the entire trick and explains how Houdini did it, and that person, of course, is none other than Sherlock Holmes. Why is Sherlock Holmes in jail? Well, he's been experimenting with some stuff, and I'm not going to say what or why, but it is explained in this book why. He's invited, actually, to Houdini's act, and something's following Houdini. We don't know what, but it involves ghosts.
Oh, yeah, I remember now.
And, what's his name?
The butler?
No. Watson.
Oh.
Actually dragged Sherlock Holmes to Houdini's act, and Houdini actually challenges Sherlock Holmes to figure out how he is surviving his trick. And he said, I'll stay in this box. He fills it full of dirt. He said, I'll stay in here as long as you need. You know, the human body, what? I'll be in here for 5 full minutes. And he's like, no, knowing you can hold your breath long. He's like, fine, take your time. And when you figure out how I perform the trick, you can spoil it for everybody, or you can just give up and free me. After a little while, Sherlock Holmes kind of breaks, so to speak, because he's afraid he's going to kill Houdini, so he frees Houdini, and it turns out he's right under the dirt, and he's like, I guess you never figured it out, huh? And the crowd applauds, and that's where some dark stuff happens, and it involves the ghosts and whatnot, and it's all stringing with Houdini. And let's just say it leaves Houdini and Sherlock Holmes standing on the stage. And it turned out Houdini's hiding something, and we don't know what.
Yeah, that's the great mystery of the book. Like, what is he hiding?
I love this splash page.
Yeah, because
the artist did it so good.
I know.
Who does the art in this book? Go ahead, you talk.
No, but I was just saying, like, what is he hiding? Like that. I was talking to the comic, literally saying, Harry Houdini, what are you hiding? I gotta know.
Carlos Ferranzono. Ferranzono. I hope I said your last name right. Awesome artwork. I really, really liked it a lot. It definitely fit this book perfectly.
Absolutely.
Rest of the books are all from... Oh, wait, nope. We're going to go into Dark Horse first. I'm sorry. From Dark Horse, I have Angel and Faith, Season 10, Issue number 7. Angel is propositioned by that woman, I forgot her name, to bring back a person who died, like Giles, and he's still saying, nope, I'm not helping. And then she gives him 3 reasons why he should help. He says no to the first 2, and then the third one is, let me give you this third one. Do you really want me to do it alone, or would you rather be there to make sure nothing goes wrong, like what happened with you? And he said, I'll think about it. And he walks away, and then it goes back to Faith in the jungle, still trying to find her friend, as well as, I forgot what the guy's name was. I'll find out as we get through the book. But anyway, Angel is actually greeted by, I forgot that woman's name now. The woman who could see into the future. She said, I knew you wanted to talk with me. And he's like, he even gives up on asking her, how did you know? Because he kind of knows already. But she only wants to know about one thing. She says, you can talk to me if you want to talk about this. And she shows him a picture he's drawn. And we're left off with Angel. No more Angel for the rest of the issue. Then we go back to Faith, who they find a camp that looked like it was taken over by the vampire tribe. Or was taken out by the vampire tribe. They're also greeted by somebody else later on. So they bunk up for the night, but then they get attacked. Humongous fight scene breaks out. Somebody from the previous camp actually was hiding out in the jungle waiting for them to attack, and it turns out she is one of the survivors from the camp that is staying in the jungle because she wants to save the people who were taken away by the vampire tribe. One of the people being Reese Zane, who is this girl's father. And Faith doesn't want to leave, but we're left off there. And the ending, let's just say the ending has a cast member from Buffy making a minor appearance. So we might be seeing somebody else coming back into the Angel and Faith book very soon from the Buffy book. Really good book. I left out a bunch of stuff on purpose. You guys should be reading Angel and Faith. I'm really enjoying it. I'm loving the artwork as well. So I would highly recommend you guys check that out. Now, let me make sure I'm right. No, I think this one is not. Yes, it is. Okay. The rest of the books are all from IDW. Let's start with the book you did not like and are probably dropping. Silent Hill, Downpour, issue number 2.
This story, it doesn't hold me, this story. Like, it's all about the girl who sees all these hallucinations and that aren't real to her, but to her it is real. And it was just
very
like trying just to, it is very dark. And she's just trying to figure out how and why she gets all these hallucinations. And then it goes into other stuff that I don't feel was necessary. And after that, this was my facial reaction after I read the book. Just, no. I don't think I'm going to come back for the next issue.
Okay.
I think I'm dropping this.
Let's go into something nicer. Angry Bird Comics, issue number 5.
Oh my god. 2 stories that I have to share with you in this story. First one's called Green... You're going too fast.
I went back.
Okay. The first story is called Green Seeds. And this is where they find 3 big things that look like eggs. And, well, there were seeds that grew into 3 eggs. And the pigs see it and go to the king, like, saying, you know, our king, you know, the eggs that you like so much, you know, we found a way that we can get it from a seed. So then he sends them after them, saying, get those seeds and bring them back. Now, wait, there's a catch to this. And I knew there would be. So they're trying to guard the eggs. And the pigs, actually, they left with the seeds when the birds failed. So, oh no, what's going to happen? Are they really eggs? Well, they turn out to be flowers. And the seeds that they're going to give the king were flowers. They were shaped like eggs but grew into flowers, and the pigs wound up eating the flowers. Next story, the second one, is Best Nest Tests, where the redbird's like saying, we got to build nests like this way, out of sand, but it rained. And the trees... It was not good.
So it's several attempts to make it.
I laughed. That poor red bird getting bandaged and everything. And then he's like saying, okay, we'll leave it the other way, but let's get some more twigs and more... I was hysterically laughing after reading that issue. Angry Birds are classic. I loved the book. Even though it's for kids, I loved it. It was amazing. Absolutely.
And finally this week from IDW, the XFiles Year Zero, issue number 3.
And this is where it goes from the present X-Files to the past looking for Zero. That's really the whole issue. Like, the other detectives are saying, you know, we got trying to look for Zero this way. Then present X-Files are going to this guy who might know about Zero. And they ask him, like, a bunch of questions about him and everything else. And when we go to the past, they go to the commissioner saying that they may have some leads that can lead them to that person. Because Zero's like one of those people that they're actually looking for that's causing all of these paranormalistic things that are going on and what are happening. So then when we go to present day, Dana and
Mulder,
thank you. I almost forgot his name. Mulder are trying to. Well, they go back to the guy's house that they talked to before because they think that he's hiding something from Zero, and the rest of it, well, let's just say, doesn't end very well. It's to be continued in the next one because let's just say they may have found him, but not in the way that I thought that they would. So, wow. Definitely recommended to read. I did leave out a lot of stuff because I want you guys to read it.
Alright, so that's it for this indie comic review, guys. Look forward to the Big 2 in review tomorrow night. Check out all the stuff from New York Comic Con on comicfrontline.com. Yeah. Don't forget to also check out comic-related, Comic Frontline, like we mentioned, Zone 4 Podcast, and Frontline Gaming Zone. Together, we're your #1 source for comic-related news, reviews, and a whole bunch more. Lots of site maintenance or channel maintenance going on at the end of this week, so look forward to a couple of changes and the return of a possible series. And until then, take care, keep reading, keep collecting, and we will see you guys in the next review.
Take care, everybody.